Hi there. It's Saturday, Sunday night, and time is something like 2 a.m. That I couldn't sleep, and because I'm thinking quite a lot currently, and I kind of felt that maybe I need to share a story, and I need to share the story to this channel, because I had an kind of idea or this kind of no, it's an should I call it an idea, but this kind of flash that came to me that maybe I'm not heading in the wrong to the right way, and so I actually got a crazy idea, and I don't know if it's a total something that is it's just stupid, but I I kind of feel that the other things that I had in my mind, they kind of lost the some kind of priority when I thought this idea. So I don't really know where's my head is right now. So, but I will share you a story, not because I have to, but I think because this channel was created based on a real need to spend time with my kids, and I think it's important for me to share the story so you also understand why I might be doing this decision that I'm now thinking. But I'll try to be short. But this all started 2.5 years ago when we bought this apartment where I'm currently filming, and it was going under piping renovation, really a huge one. So, for example, this is a basement floor, and they ripped everything here. The floor included. There was nothing left, and everything was built from ground up. And this apartment, it actually had a swimming pool right there where the table is. That whole side of the room was a swimming pool, and it wasn't in use for, I don't know, for decades. And so I designed. I'm not a designer. I'm a ICT engineer. That's my career, 20 years plus. But I have done these designs, interior designs, as a hobby. Every time we bought a new house or needed to move, so it was kind of something I like to do. So I designed this house, and we have 3 different floors. So actually, I designed all the floors, and it was a time-consuming thing, but that kind of gave us um, structure for this apartment to be a forever home. And by that I mean that the plans that I did, the execution was so expensive that we needed to make a decision: are we going to go all in, or are we going to back away? And we did go with the all in. But when we did that call, we were, both of us, my spouse and I, we had a steady jobs, and I had a decent income. So 20 years in the same company, I have developed my profession quite, a long time. So I wasn't afraid, and so we went all in. But it happened that, the renovation took over a year. The piping renovation took 2 years. I actually finished off the last thing here on just before Christmas Eve, 23rd of December. That was the kitchen that you see behind me. Actually have a movie or a film from that. I rehearsed a fast filming. I can show you a couple of seconds on that one. But yeah, me took 2 years to have this renovation, and I lost my job during this one. So 1 year ago, they have a really huge negotiations in the company, biggest or second biggest maybe in the history of the company, and that concerned me as well this time. So I was actually then out of job, and that was 1 year ago, a bit more, like on November, and we had pre-scheduled to go to the bank on December to get the loans for the renovation that we have already ordered, and we have paid so many, or we have gotten the bills from so many of the things that we designed and agreed to do here. So because I lost my work on December 1 year ago, the bank said no, you cannot get anything. So that was kind of rough, and then I luckily got a package from the company, a golden handshake, and with that we could actually then pay the bills. So we kind of managed to get away with that. But still, after this renovation, we got a really huge loan that came with the piping renovation. And now, when I got kicked out from the company, I started to think that maybe this might be also the time that I'll do a career change. So I actually started thinking about the designing work that I do, and then thinking that maybe that might be another way forward for me. So I went into school and I started learning interior design, and I started that on February. It's last year now, but a year ago, and it was a 1 year long study, and I was meant to graduate on December, but crazy thing happened, and it was a private school, so you need to pay it that you get in. So, but it was a private school, and they had a bankruptcy on October last year. So, couple of months before I would graduate. So the school went down, and I didn't get the diploma there, and that was crazy. Uh, and I was planning the whole year to become an entrepreneur this year. So create a new company. I haven't ever been an entrepreneur, so this would be a new thing. But that was the plan, to get the diploma, go to school, get the diploma, learn all the new skills and stuff that you would need, and then when that is ready, I'll create the company, and then start figuring out if I can get the customers and the money rolling in, which is desperately needed. And yeah, it's Sunday, 4th of January today, and the plan is to register the company tomorrow, on Monday, 5th of January. So tomorrow is a big day. So I'm still gonna register the company and start the company without the diploma. So I didn't change the plans. But yeah, so the renovation was quite long, and because I lost the work in the company, I couldn't afford to hire my own contractor. So I did quite a lot of the work on myself. So last year was a mix of training new skills and then also building this apartment. And for example, the whole basement here, I have built everything except the floor here. And it's quite cool because I have designed this beforehand and then I also built it. It wasn't the plan, but that happened. So. But all of this, the planning, the designs, and it was a busy time in my previous work when I was still working. It was quite hectic and long days, and then I had this piping renovation on top of that. Thank God I got not fired but kicked off, and then I had the time to actually focus on the renovation part on this one. I think I wouldn't be able to do both. So maybe that was planned to be. So, but the work was pretty hectic, and then of course you can think of this building and renovation and schools and skills. It's been a rough year, or the last year was quite rough, and I haven't been so much spending time with the kids, and that's kind of I feel it. It's I kind of feel guilty, and it might be a turning point for me because my younger son Raster, we call it here in the channel. He is really smart boy, and you can maybe think of the way he speaks English, for example. But he is mathematically smart, and he could calculate, before he went to, during kindergarten. But anyway, you can think of, but because he's so smart, he might be kind of bored in the class, and that's I think what that has happened, and then that reflects to then more being restless during the classes, and because of that we have asked that he can go and speak to the, I don't know what the name is in English, but you have few dedicated people in the school where you can go, and the kids can talk to them. They go through different things, and if everything is fine, and if they need any help, they try to be there for the kid and try to figure out what is maybe on their mind, if they can help. And then they also report back to me. But yeah, during this autumn, well, it was pretty late, not in December, but beginning of December maybe, they called me there from the school, and then they said that you Raster was there, and they were talking, and then they started playing some game, and suddenly Raster started to cry. They, she asked why Raster started to cry, and Raster said that he doesn't have time with dad. Hmm. So it was wasn't so nice to hear. And it's not their fault that we don't have time for them, and life is what it is. It's sometimes you don't have choices. And yeah, yeah. So I promised to the kids that I will complete the renovation before Christmas, and I kept my word. I completed that on 23rd of December. So I kept my word on that, and then I promised them that we are going to spend the last days of this year together. And yeah, that was then the idea to buy the game, and I know it's not something that you do together in face to face, but I thought that is still a really excellent way to spend time together, and it might grow something really big in the future. And also it was the English language there, so I can introduce that in the mix, and so it's beneficial on multiple levels. So and yeah, it started really good. So I was afraid that it's too complicated, the game. I mean, but it wasn't, and we have had a few hours of gameplay, and yeah, the last one was, it was all smiles after the game. So, but that was a week, and then tomorrow I would be registering my company and starting an entrepreneur in Finland for the first time. That's not an easy thing to do. And if I haven't had time before, how will I have time now? And then it hit me. I had an idea that could I do something with the kids and make a creation to internet, to this channel, something that would be interesting to watch. would it be possible for me to combine playtime with my kids to something that would actually pay the bills? Because that's the whole reason why I'm starting a entrepreneurship or going to work. It's that we can keep this place. Because I lost the income. I need to start getting something. So I had a crazy thought. Really crazy. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. Because I'm still thinking and processing that. But I can tell you this. I've built something that the internet hasn't seen. It's related to toys, but I have something special, and that's something that we can share with the kids, and we can build even more. And I kind of have a vision. How could I create interesting content from that? And it might be so interesting that would actually interest people. But then again, that will take an enormous amount of time because I need to learn new skills again. That is required to me to fulfill that idea. So that's why I couldn't sleep, because my head is exploding. But the idea would be right now that I still start the company tomorrow. I register the company. But then I use the January, this month, to try to produce the idea that I have. And it's related to this StarDad channel. And I'm gonna check that out. Yeah. And I don't know what is gonna happen. And it might be the stupidest idea ever. But that would be an option for everything. I could spend time with the kids, and because I said that whatever I had in my mind before, the priority of that kind of change. Because I have an option where I can spend time with the kids more. I can actually focus on the kids. So yeah, but I don't know. But I wanted to record this and let you know that there might be something coming. I actually set up tables that's a kind of studio there. But so maybe I will create a small video later. What is the idea? Yeah, but that's that. So that's the story. So sorry for taking so long. But yeah, I feel a bit relieved that I said that out loud. So, but let's see. So wasn't the happiest video, but maybe the stories aren't meant to be always that happy, and eventually if they have a happy ending, then they are happy. So let's see what is the ending for this story. All right, but I'll try to go back to bed, get some sleep.